Hey guys, what's up, Zyphlon here, and in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how you can one-shot level 9,999 enemies with this crazy Eclipse Seeking Shuriken Ash build. Like the video, drop a sub, and let's get right into it. Ash is by far one of the easiest frames to pick up and bring into a level cap run. To get the level cap, what you need to do is start a Steel Path Disruption mission and get to wave 46. This involves killing at least one Demolist every single round. Lots of people struggle with killing the Demolists, but Ash makes this incredibly easy. What I've done is I've used the Helm system to subsume Mirage's Eclipse ability over Ash's teleport ability. Eclipse was one of the best damage buffing abilities in the game, but it's got a downside to it. You have to be standing in the light to get the damage buff. If you stand in a dark area instead, you're going to get damage reduction, but Ash's kit actually has a fix for that. If you cast Eclipse while you're standing in the light and then cast Smokescreen, if you walk into a dark area, you're still going to maintain the damage buff from Eclipse. Unfortunately, this is a bug, but it's a bug that's worth knowing about because of how useful it is up until DE decide to fix it. The fact that we can keep Eclipse's damage buff up at all times makes it a no-brainer to subsume it onto Ash. This pairs extremely well with Ash's Augment Seeking Shuriken, which allows us to completely strip away the armor of any enemy in the game. So the Ash build that we're running looks a little bit like this. We stack Umbral Intensify and Blind Rage for 243% power strength, Prime Continuity and Now Reminded for extra duration on all of our abilities, Prime Flow to store energy in the event disruption gives us an energy drain modifier, and because we have such low efficiency anyway, Rolling Guard to cleanse status effects and to keep us alive when and if our shield gate goes down, Prime Sure-Footed so we don't get knocked down by literally anything, including our own projectiles if we're using an explosive weapon, Vigorous Swap for bonus damage, Seeking Shuriken for the armor strip, and finally Brief Respite so we can keep on abusing shield gating. For Arcanes, Arcane Energize is an absolute must, but the other slot entirely depends on the type of weapon that you're running. For this video, I'm going to be using a Barrage build on my Kuvazar, so I'm using Arcane Rage for the bonus primary damage on headshot, but you could substitute this with something like Arcane Acceleration for more DPS. On my Zara, I was rocking Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Hunt Munitions for the slash procs on crit hits, Vital Sense for additional crit damage paired with Bladed Rounds, which you could replace for Hammer Shot if you're too lazy to aim down sights, Critical Delay for crit chance, again another solid argument for Arcane Acceleration over Arcane Rage because of the negative fire rate that this mod gives. Prime Fast Hands for additional reload speed, but you could swap that out for the likes of Prime Magazine Warp, Prime Bean of Grenier for a big damage bonus versus that faction, Prime Cryo Rounds to merge with the built-in Toxin that I've got on my Kuvazar. This is going to make Viral, which is going to help out with the damage of our slash procs from Hunt Munitions. Vigilante Supplies is also thrown into the Excellence slot to help us sustain our ammo and potentially hit some red crits. And finally, I'm running Primary Deadhead for bonus damage on headshots and stronger headshot multipliers. For my secondary, I was using the Epitaph using Frostbite and Pistol Pestilence to make Viral, Lethal Torrent for faster fire rate and some multi-shot, Augur Seeker for some status duration so my Viral and cold procs lasted longer, Prime Fulmination to increase the blast radius of all of my shots, Sure Shot for even more status chance, Scorch for heat as an additional element to pair with Condition Overload on our melee, Amalgam Barrel Fusion for even more multi-shot but mainly to speed up our rolls so we can proc Rolling Guard ASAP when needs be, Reflex Draw in the Excellence slot so we can swap back to the Zar as fast as possible to take advantage of Vigorous Swap. Then finally, Secondary Dexterity for even more holster speed and bonus combo duration for our melee weapon. Speaking of melee weapons, I was using the Nikana Prime, but you can use pretty much any slash-weighted melee weapon and use a build that looks like this. Prime Smite mod for the bonus damage, Blood Rush for crit chance, Weeping Winds for additional status chance, which translates into a lot of slash procs, Organ Shatter for bonus crit damage, Berserker Fury for more attack speed, Condition Overload for more damage, Prime Reach for more range to kill multiple enemies with one swing, and finally Gladiator Might for even more crit damage. So the combo for killing pretty much any enemy in one shot with this loadout is to first cast Eclipse while standing in the light, then cast Smokescreen so you can keep your Eclipse damage buff no matter where you are, Strip the enemy armor with Seeking Shuriken, maybe hit them a little bit with your epitaph to slow them down and apply some viral procs, swap back to the Tsar and then shoot them in the head with the barrage firing mode. For the highest amount of damage possible, make sure that you've got all of your primary deadhead stacks before shooting the likes of a Demolist, for example. Now, the absolute biggest downside of this build is the fact that if you have Eclipse active and you go into your operator, enemies will still target your Warframe, and if your Warframe takes enough damage, you're gonna fall out of operator straight back into your frame, and you're either gonna have 2 HP or just be dead if the enemies are dishing out toxin procs. Using your operator during an endurance run is pretty important, mainly for things like Magus Lockdown, which is going to allow you to stop enemies in place, setting them up for an easy headshot. You can also use Magus Elevate to regen health in the event that you have low HP, if you have like an energy drain event from disruption, for example. To keep yourself alive during an endurance run, you want to make sure that you bring the Vazarin Focus skill tree. The Vazarin Focus skill tree has a ton of different abilities which are useful for staying alive, such as straight up immunity and instant revives. You can 100% do an endurance run using something like Zeneric, but Vazarin makes it that much more easier. Besides, if you have Arcane Energize and Energy Pads, you shouldn't really be struggling to sustain your energy anyway. You can use pretty much any gun with this Ashe setup. Just make sure that you're using primary deadhead and viral damage to get the most damage possible. Remember, whenever the enemy's health bar is red, viral damage is good, and whenever their health bar is yellow, corrosive damage is good. I interchange between using the cannon mode on the Tsar for the trash ads and using the barrage mode to kill the Demolists by making sure all of the Tsar's pellets hit their head. Make sure to try and keep your distance from the Demolists, as they have a nullifier bubble around them, which is going to take down your Eclipse and Smokescreen. It's even going to re-equip the armor to the Demolist if you stripped away their armor. So you have to recast Seeking Shuriken every single time this nullifier bubble pulses. So make sure to hit their head as much as possible to kill them ASAP. I'm going to be live over at twitch.tv/iflin every single day this month, pretty much doing nothing but level cap runs. So if you want to see the live gameplay with no cut content, that's the place to be. I'll probably be doing the majority of the runs with other streamers and YouTubers, and probably some viewer runs as well. So make sure to stop by and we can put all of our builds to the test. This is my first time ever making like a level cap build video, or just like a level cap guide in general. So definitely let me know down in the comment section below if you liked it and if this is the type of content that you would like to see in the future. Definitely is new territory for me. Like, the footage that you see in today's video was literally my third level cap run. Big shout out to Nightmare Frame for, you know, playing it with me just so it doesn't go balls up and I totally mess it up. But anyway, guys, that is gonna do it for today's video. If you liked the video, definitely hit that like button below, subscribe for more Warframe content, and I will see you guys in the next video.